My name is Hans Lutters. I'm a massage therapist. I'm working here at Hands On. That's our business, and with SportsMed, we do work for the high performance sport as well. That's where I'm contracted to. We've got a team of 5 people, and all massage therapists, and we got 2 people at admin, so we work basically from 3 locations.
So do you want to take us through what sort of work you do with athletes?
What we do with athletes, or what I do with athletes, is I basically do either injury prevention or injury management, working on soft tissue, basically on the deficit of range of motion, and condition the muscles, make sure that we prepare the athletes for their events and make sure that they recover again.
So you've been to quite a few Commonwealth Games, so do you want to talk us through your experiences with those games, sort of what you got up to, what you learned during that period?
Absolutely. It's completely different from working in a clinical environment, completely different. What you learn is that you learn a lot about yourself, because you're away from your home, you're away from your family, and you are with a group of people that are going to be your family. Working with athletes in that kind of environment is fantastic, because you are part of the pinnacle of their careers. And you're not doing it as an individual, but you're working as a team. You know, you're part of a team, and that's a real strong feeling that goes, that goes across the board. With the campaign, because they're all campaigns. With those campaigns, you've got a team support and athlete support, and a core health team, which I'm part of. And we all represent New Zealand, and very proud of it. So yeah, it's a huge privilege to A, to be part of it, and B, to look after those athletes.
So during your time there, what sort of work were you doing with the athletes?
Massaging them, so preparing them for the events. Of course, people can get injured, but we really try our best to make sure that that athletes present themselves at the games at their best possible shape, so that you basically have to just to look after them. So in this case, like an injury prevention stage, and just get them ready for the events.
So is there anything else you would like people to know about massage therapy and what you do?
Yes, so massage therapy is not just the massages people know. There is soft tissue therapy, there's deep tissue. There is a very holistic approach to it, and there is the approach of the actual, hands-on that we provide for athletes, and for basically injury management, of general public. So it is a wide scope that people need to understand, that it's not just one particular, not one particular style.
When it comes to someone who has possibly suffered a serious injury, how would you go about setting up a rehabilitation program for them, or what practices would you use to begin the healing process?
So if I look back at my time with athletes, from basically from rugby to triathlon to cycling, we are part of a team, and collaboration is very important. Communication lines are very, very important to make sure that we all fit in within that puzzle. So basically it starts off with a doctor and a physio, and based on the diagnosis we follow the program. We can be involved in the initial phase, where the injury is significant, and our role is to make sure that we can provide a good range of motion to shorten that period. But quite often, most of the time, we are involved in the into the recovery phase. And that's where the frequency of massage therapy is increased, and that's where basically our physio colleagues step a bit more backwards and collect the information from us.
Perfect. So how important is injury prevention and rehabilitation coming back from an injury?
I think it's just as important as when you are not injured. Injury prevention is just being proactive, and that's what we are. That's what we're asking from all our athletes, not only our athletes but just people in general. So if you're being proactive about it, so basically we call that our injury prevention, so not the management. Then you avoid the basic injuries like tears and muscle tears and strains that you can get. You know, that perhaps if you were more proactive, you would have avoided that.
So, as I'm sure you know firsthand, sports people can be quite stubborn and just sort of want to get back out on the field. What are the dangers that you perceive of trying to come back from an injury too fast?
Getting re-injured. That's I think that's pretty obvious. Yes, athletes are stubborn, but they're becoming less stubborn. Sports medicine is developing as it always has done, and we're getting more and more data that it allows athletes to make good decisions, not based on their stubbornness, but basically on the facts that are presented to them.
So, when it comes to some injuries, such as Sam Kane's one that we see, if he's rushed back into action, how much more serious do you think an injury like that could get?
Oh, that could be disastrous. I've got great confidence in my colleagues that would never ever happen, because his injury is, as I've heard, quite serious in the sense of the recovery time. But if that would happen, if Sam would not have a support team around him that would be less capable, that could have disastrous effects for him, lifelong.
So when it comes to injury rehabilitation, are there any complications during that phase for an athlete?
Rehabilitation always goes with 3 steps forwards and 2 steps back. That's what we prepare ourselves for, and that's what quite often happens. Lots can happen in the gym, with strengthening, rehab, but again, if I just refer back to a good collaboration between the practitioner, so the physio, the doctor, the PT trainer, or the strength and conditioning coach, and the massage, and if there's a good communication, then that hurdle will be dealt with quite quickly, and we move forward.
So during your time, what are some of the worst injuries you've seen and had to try and help an athlete recover from?
Well, the worst injuries that we usually see are the ones that are related to soft tissue. Okay, so severe muscle tears and strains that we deal with. Basically, you look at crashes from our cyclists, so either on track or on the road, and I think those are the most severe ones. When it comes to rugby, quite often those injuries have healed themselves to a certain extent, because when you get to soft tissue treatment, a lot has to be rehabilitated and recovered before we can even start doing that work.
Well, would you be able to talk us through that process then?
The process of massage therapy,
Yeah,
when someone comes in.
Rehabilitating from a serious tear.
So when someone comes in, and being referred by my colleagues, so by one of the physios, we can sometimes get access to the imaging, And based on the conversation that I have with the with the physio, we start massaging the tissue that's affected, and we compare that left with right. We do postural analysis, and we do strengthening tests that fits within our own scope, and based on that we make a treatment plan. The treatment plan is quite often with an initial phase and a longer phase, so we can call that a maintenance phase, where you have to see good progress, and those results are being referred back to the physio and to the doctor. And with that information and with that, with the improvements, you can see that the recovery period is going according to plan. So massage therapy plays a huge important role in that whole rehabilitation.
Perfect. And finally, do you have anything else you wish to add about treating injuries? Anything you'd like to add about what happened to Sam Cane? Anything along those lines?
Well, what happened to Sam Cane is, I hope he's going to be okay, and I hope he's going to make the World Cup. I believe he, from what I've heard, there was some criticism about him not being put on the stretcher. But I have full confidence in the medical staff who tested him on the field and made a decision to let him walk back to the changing rooms rather than putting him on the stretcher, which had no effect on the injury. And that's one thing that we're very good at. We're all doctors and we're all quite judgmental at times. But I think if we just leave it in the hands of the people who are the professionals and trust them, I think you can see that the outcome is going to be good as well. So that's the only thing I just wanted to add to it. My name is Hans Lutters, and this has been In the Shed.